Our next speaker has a history as a classroom teacher and head teacher for 14 years in rural New South Wales public high schools. He still twitches a bit. It's a terrible thing to say, I apologise. His major ongoing research focuses on place, the sustainability of rural communities and the interests of the least powerful in our society. His work takes a rural standpoint, which values rural people and communities and the specific and distinct knowledge that they possess. From the Faculty of Education, Science, Technology and Maths, please welcome Dr. Philip Roberts.
If you talk to a teacher in a rural school about NAPLAN, they'll tend to roll their eyes and say something like, well, is it any surprise our kids don't achieve as well? A lot of the questions don't bear any relevance to their life worlds. Asked to do a recount about a day at the beach when they haven't been to one, or do a numeracy task using a train timetable when they don't use them. Surprisingly, there's no empirical research examining what is rhetorically accepted and what is seen as a major equity issue by a lot of teachers in rural schools. However, the international field of rural literacies has shown us that rural peoples use different literacy constructions. In spatial reasoning, a key numeracy skill, we know that rural people use different spatial dimensions when drawing maps, not like the city blocks in lots of NAPLAN tests. With $5,000, we'll be able to do NAPLAN style tests in 8 rural schools with students in years 5 and year 9. One test will be your standard NAPLAN type test. The second test will be using more culturally appropriate references. We'll be looking for any statistical significant differences, and that can form an evidence base for a larger ongoing study, should that be necessary. It's time for us to test what is rhetorically accepted and see if rhetoric exists in a reality, and finally deal with this equity issue once and for all.
Right on the bell. Can we have a question from our panel, please?
Philip, thanks. Terrific. How would you design the test and with whom would you work to do it?
So we have a range of rural education scholars who are experts particularly in literacy and numeracy, some teams here and other universities. So with teachers and their expertise in designing and writing NAPLAN tests, because there's a particular way you write these so that they can be numerically measured, hence you get a number in your NAPLAN test. We'll be writing those tests so that they're statistically significant and valid using that knowledge and expertise.
Thank you, Philip.